It's Honor here, founder of Consciously Created Motherhood. All of you who are in the group today, I'm going to be recording and posting this in YouTube for others who want to look back and check out the workshop. Today's workshop is called How to Stay Calm When Your Kids Are Being Kids. I can't tell you how many women I speak to who say, I'm doing okay, and then when my kids just start being normal kids, I start to unravel. Everything starts to unravel, and then they see the worst of me. So I thought, what better thing to talk about than something that so many of us are stuck and struggling over. So when you come on, tell me hi. Say if you can hear me. I'm going to try to do a quick check on my end on volume. So watch out. Hopefully it won't blast you. Turn it down. All right, it's working. Okay, so here we go. Let's do it. When you come on, tell me hi. This workshop, as all of my workshops are, about teaching you things that you can put into practice in your life, things that will bring you deeper understanding and insight about yourself and will really help you to feel more successful as a mother or in motherhood. Some of my talks are more specifically about parenting. Some are more specifically about how to anchor into you and really be the guiding force for yourself and your family. And that is what this workshop is about. So how to stay calm when your kids are acting like kids, normal kids. So tell me when you come on and say hi and let me know. Thumbs up if the volume's good. I'm waiting to see if I can see comments up here too. So this is going to be an interactive workshop. I'm going to ask you some things as I go, and I really want you to be honest with yourself and let me know what's going on so that we can work together to help you shift what's going on. So I want to first establish a few truths. I'm going to share a few. This is truth as I know it about us as humans and mothers. So we're human. And as humans, we have emotions. And it's unavoidable for us to be emotional in motherhood. Okay. You probably all know that on a cognitive level, and yet you might be surprised if you paid attention to yourself how many times you're contradicting that belief, that truth, and expecting yourself to not feel things. But it is human to have emotions, and we all do have them, so let's start there with square one. Second thing is our children impact us and we impact them. This relationship goes both ways. The impact goes both ways. The energy moves both ways in terms of emotional energy. And so, again, unavoidable. There is no realm where we cannot feel as moms, where we cannot be changed by what our children are going through. That is a fact of motherhood. Another one is we all have moments of struggle, and whether we are age 5 or we are age 45, those moments of struggle are, again, human and unavoidable. Okay. The more prepared we are for the unavoidable moments of disorganized behavior that our children have, or our partners have, or we have, of overstimulation, our kids who are completely oversaturated and overstimulated, of overwhelm or outrage, the better everyone in the family does. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm like in some of my webinars and my workshops. I'm talking about being I'm a confident CEO of your family, and that's what that means. So there can be any kind of stuff going on around you, but you are anchored in, and so then they can ground and stabilize more quickly. All right. So let's do a little assessment. When you come on and watch this, I want you to join the answer this assessment. Awesome. Hi, Dawn. Let me know if you can hear me okay, and if this is all tracking. Okay. So assessment. On a scale of 1 to 10, and no one can see in this group except for those who are in the group. And when I post this to YouTube, comments are not on. So this part is just for us inside the group, okay? Because it's a closed group. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how calm are you when you're just doing you? So this is a time when you're maybe alone, or when your people are occupied and you're just focused on you and doing your thing. You're not in the thick of parenting moment or family management. Scale of 1 to 10, and 10 is like I'm Buddha, and 1 is I'm in a panic attack, let's say. So give me on the numbers on the scale. This is when you're just doing you, okay? And I'll wait a second to let you respond to that. Forgot to turn the ringer off. We're living we're vintage in my house. We have a landline, but no answering machine, because that would just be too much. Vintage. Okay, perfect. So 7 to 8, and the others of you watching, I encourage you to respond and participate too. This is just universal law. When you participate, when you show up, when you respond, when you engage, you're going to get a whole lot more back. You're going to receive more guidance. You're going to receive more support. And in general, things will go better for you. Just telling you that now. Let's use this one as an example. So 7 to 8, that's pretty good. That's high on the scale, feeling good. And then how about when things are going well with your family? So now we're including family energy in the mix. And where do you fall on the assessment scale? Of 10 is awesome, Buddha energy. 1 is really in a panic or falling to pieces, disorganized. This is when things are going well and you're with your family. Maybe even higher at this point than you are on your own. Maybe, hi Patrizia. Maybe, or maybe sort of you're less focused on your calm at that point. So let me know your number on that one. And then after we see those, I'm going to ask you to check in with the most relevant piece of this, which is, what about when things are not going well? What about when you're with your kid? Okay, great. So a 6 on that one. So already sort of leaking energy to the family. And then when things are not going well, like your child's having a tantrum, or they're mom, 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 you just want to run out the door. Where is the level of calm on 1 to 10? 1 is really falling apart. 10 is the best. Where do you feel when they're pushing your buttons, and that includes partner stuff coming up? House is a mess, whatever is your thing. Whatever, pick your poison when that thing is happening. How calm are you able to be? Go ahead. Patrizia, I want to see yours too. Give me some numbers. All right. Okay, perfect. So the first go round 4, and then it drops from that point. We get to 1 and 2 really quickly. So there is whatever is in the tank is just kind of wiped out with that. Okay. So, yeah, depends. So, okay, we're going to talk about depends too. That's good. It depends. So let's talk about that too. All right. So I speak to a lot of potential clients who are, they tell me that they're reaching out because they feel sometimes good, like really good. They often, like many women will say, I have moments where I feel so connected. I have moments where I feel like life is so good and I'm so lucky or blessed, or I can be in appreciation, but it's a flash. Like it's just, I have no way to hold on to it. It kind of is like a healing moment that just vaporizes, and then there's no way to get it back on purpose, intentional. And so many of these women, and you can tell me if this is you and you watch this, have done some kind of healing work. They've been to therapy, or they've practiced yoga, or they have tried some guided meditations, or whatever it is. But there's a missing puzzle piece about how to stay calm and connected to themselves when the outside world is not cooperating. Okay. So things get hard. Let's say you're doing okay, but things get hard suddenly, like a kid gets sick or a deadline at work gets pushed up or something in what you expected goes off. And at that point, your anxiety really picks up speed. It may skyrocket into a panic attack. You may have trouble. You probably will feel overwhelmed. You may feel disorganized. And what results is you feel out of control in your own life that you created. So something has gone wrong and you've lost the grip that you felt you had. And you're feeling this on many levels. Your emotional level, you're in your thoughts, you're hearing self-sabotaging things or critical things or fear catastrophic things. I'm failing. I knew I was going to fail and I'm failing. I should have known that if I'm feeling good, then I'm going to dip. Like this is just, I knew not to feel safe or relaxed for long because here we go again. It can't stay good kind of mentality. You feel it in your body and then you feel it in your energy as well, your energy field. So you might be experiencing any of these things. These are like some of the top things that I see. So one, when you are losing control or feeling you've lost the calm or the shred of groundedness you had when you woke up, your heart is pounding. So I hear that a lot. My heart is beating so loudly, it's in my ears. Having trouble breathing. I cannot breathe, can't catch my breath. Those things can come together. That's really, that is, for many people, becomes a panic attack. For others, they feel it throughout the entire day as something in their awareness, like their body's asking them to do something they don't know what to do and how to respond to take care of it. That will make you so tired. That will wipe your energy so quickly. Some have thoughts about escaping. So it would be better off if I wasn't here. My family would be better off if I wasn't here. That also is suicidal ideation. Maybe you're just dreaming of divorce, separating the households. Maybe you're dreaming of splitting everybody up and thinking that will be easier. If I could just run my own show, it would be so much easier. I'm sure that I would feel calmer. Okay, I'm warning you about this kind of thinking. Stay with me because I'm going to go deeper into what's problematic inherently about it. So, exhaustion. I talk to a lot of women who wake up tired. They wake up and they're already tired because all night long their unconscious mind has been just taking them through it, all the things that aren't working, all the problems, and circling them. So they wake up really, really tired. And then lastly, emotionally, so frustration leads to anger, leads to hopelessness. There's a cycle there. And feeling stuck. Okay, so next question. Just name one sign that you notice. What is a sign you notice, either emotional, a thought form, in your physical body, like a sensation, or in your energy? Just give me one. Drop it in the comments. Tell me, this is one of your signs that says like, I'm going off balance or something isn't right. I need to do something differently here. Anybody? I know you're out there. It's better if you participate. I'm telling you. There's also a delay, so some of you may be commenting and I can't see it yet. So drop your sign in there. Okay, perfect. All right, great. Yeah, short-tempered, lack of patience, and shortness of breath. So so one's an emotional and then one's a physical. The physical signs will often create an increase of anxiety because you notice it and then you feel more out of control. I'm going to talk about that. And then the emotional side and the mental go together in that, like, I feel impatient and then I just want things to go my way. So that will kind of comes on and you think like, why is it not working the way I want it to work? I've had many moments myself like that in the past. Great. These are really in line with what I'm going to be sharing with you. So I want to provide some direction today in How to stop losing control when your kids do is really like a better way to say the title of this workshop. What I know from experience is that might turn a few people off. So so I didn't say it that way. I said how to stay calm when your kids are acting like kids. And really, the true story is like people reach out to me when they're struggling with they're like ready to admit that it's not going the way they want to go and that it's driving them nuts, and they do believe there must be a better way. And so usually what it looks like is children kind of sliding into sort of disorganized play, arguing, fighting, testing limits, pushing, arguing back, that kind of thing. And I'm calling that out of control. And then we go with them. So we just board that train and are mad with them, mad at them for being mad. We are out of control, that they're out of control. And we create these loops and these patterns. And this is how it was in our families. Maybe it looked a little different and your body remembers it a little differently, but nevertheless, these are old patterns. And so we're just kind of unconsciously recreating them as we go. I find that people get lost, really lose themselves when they have this pattern of getting out of control. So they feel out of control, and then they really feel lost to themselves or any way to help themselves. And the key step to changing any pattern, this pattern, is understanding what's happening in you. Now, you have to be ready for it. You have to want that. You have to really want to crack the nut to look inside, because it's not really something we naturally do. It is a new skill. It is part of our evolution that we have to do this. It's not something we were taught. Most of us were not taught this as kids. But the main step in being able to shift the pattern requires that you're your own expert. So you have to know what's going on in you to be able to shift something. And part of the work I do is really guiding women on their own self-discovery, and telling them which way to turn so that they can really, really find out what they need to know in order to be able to shift a pattern and really clear something like anxiety and overwhelm for good. So once you understand what's happening in you and with a pattern, that shifts the tide from overwhelm toward seeing really clearly what you need to do so that you can really change this for good. And that's what I'm going to help you out with today. So one thing I notice is that in the age of busyness that we're in, we're parenting and doing a million other things at the same time. And, it seems to me that it's like a radical thing these days to choose to homeschool your kids and grow your own food and make all your own food. These are radical things in this modern country that we live in. And that kind of makes me laugh. It feels amazing and shocking to me that this is the case. And also, it's just a reflection of where we are at this point in time in our evolution, and that trying to do motherhood the way our mothers did or grandmothers did, it is crazy making. It's crazy making. Those old ways in many areas just don't apply for us. And so what's happening though is women are still holding themselves to a high expectation that they should be able to do it simply, that they should be able to stay really relaxed and calm, like without learning any new skill sets. And that is even more crazy making to me. So we're creating a lot of our own stress in our self-imposed expectations that we're going to just know how to do this without support, without new skills, without guidance. And that's really where I see people getting stuck and struggling, because they're beating themselves up about why it's not working. And they're feeling like they're failing because they can't seem to piece it together on their own. Okay. So it just feels like this is a time for us all to develop a new skill set. And as women, as moms, not only to really lead our families in the way that they're going to need us to do, but to create a healthy, balanced life for ourselves in the here and now so that we can enjoy this. We can enjoy this life that we're living. So the first thing you need to know about why you're not able to stay calm, if this is true for you, when your kids aren't calm. And I realize I'm saying it this way, but I realize there are a lot of you that just don't ever feel calm. And that also is happening. And that is just a more urgent place than the place I'm talking about today. But for those of you who do feel like I never really achieved that kind of feeling relaxed in my body or calm in my body, please do reach out for help. Please don't suffer and struggle every day in silence and in isolation. That is not a happy life. For those of you who kind of ebb and flow and you do feel sometimes okay and sometimes it's a real struggle, this talk is really going to apply to you. It's going to apply to everybody, but it's really going to apply to you to really open your mind up to it's just a few shifts. You're just learning how to think about this differently, and we're shifting the perception around it so you can realize how to show up differently for you. So, are you with me? I'm talking kind of fast because I know sometimes these have gone really long, these workshops. So hoping to keep it to half an hour today. Let me know if you have questions. Pop on here. I can see my comments now. So feel free to jump in. And otherwise I'll go on. The first thing you need to know in order to stay calm when those around you are not. Then I need first to make an important distinction before telling you this piece. You first need to know and understand there are two types of calm, okay? The first type of calm is conditional. It's conditional calm. And what that means, and this is like the moms who I was referencing earlier, those of us who just get really stuck in this, I'm okay until something unexpected happens, which could be every day. That's choosing to live every day in a really unpredictable way. So conditional calm is based on outside circumstances, anything and everything outside of you. This is how external things are going. That includes your children. That includes your partner, his day at work or her day at work. It includes the weather. It includes your car breaking down or missing your train, all of those things. So it is completely unpredictable. You have zero control over anything outside of you. And I know I've said that before, but I know how hard of a pill that is to swallow. So I'm starting with this just to point out how important it is to be able to self-diagnose and self-assess if you're living and breathing some kind of conditional calm. That's a much harder place to live. Okay, so what happens when things go sideways? If you're staying there and living there in that place of unpredictability, is that you go sideways too. Everything else goes out of balance. So the thing happens and then there's a chain reaction and you go with it. And now what happens to your kids? Oh my God, mom's off the rails, so we're going to go off the rails too. And then you see your partner later and he or she is saying, why are you spewing all over me? And then that relationship also tanks. So it's all connected. Another thing that happens is you're feeling out of control because you are. What happens is you're forgetting you don't have control over anything outside of you because you've bought into this idea of conditional calm. I should just be calm no matter what, but there's no way to get there. And then things go wrong. And then that creates an experience internally that is kind of a shock to the system. It's, oh my gosh, I don't know how to respond to this because I didn't create any kind of stable calm, and now I'm in trouble. I realize I was relying on that, and so I'm feeling really chaotic inside too. So if your happiness is based on anything outside of you, there is no stability in it. That's the core learning here. There is no stability. There's no consistency. There's no preparing for it. There's just feeling like life is happening to you. You're living in hope that things are going to go well. I see this a lot. Because you know you don't have any control over it, but you also don't have any authority over how you feel. No control or agency over how you feel. You're just kind of outsourcing your feelings to life and hoping you get something good back. And that's not a very good investment. You're investing a lot in something that may or may not yield good results for you. Okay, the other kind of calm. One is conditional calm, the other is unconditional calm. And this is true calm. True calm comes from inside of us. This is the one we create. Okay, it's based on one thing. It's based on how aligned we are with our desires. So you might think also how aligned you are with what's in your heart. So, meaning, are we thinking thoughts that reflect what we want in our heart, what we believe, our values? Are we thinking thoughts that are aligned with our heart's desires? Is it all in alignment? Is our body responding to that instead of in fight or flight mode? Okay. Or are we giving our attention to negativity? That's not aligned. Are we cultivating real connection in presence with our people we love so much, with the work, meaningful work we do? Or are we giving into feeling like disempowered, feeling trapped, or victimhood? Are we wishing we could escape or someone from the outside would save us? Even worse, sometimes we wish someone would really reach down and save us from the clutches of anxiety or overwhelm. And no one is coming. I mean, I'm just going to say it because it doesn't help for me to not speak the most direct truth to you. No one is coming to save you. This is the time for you to learn how to really heal yourself, protect yourself, save yourself. And I mean that in the best kind of way. This is just true love speaking today. If you don't want to feel like you have to keep running from things or avoiding things, then that's your cue to start tuning in and really creating that kind of calm from the inside out. Okay, and then that's what you're flowing to people you love, people around you. So just think for a minute and comment, which do you feel like you are in most of the time? Are you more often in conditional calm, or are you more often in unconditional calm? And you guys drop that in the comments. And then I want to talk for a minute about what to do about it, how to change it. Yeah, conditional. And I think most people are in conditional calm. And that's why most people, mom people, feel overwhelmed more than not, more days than not, more times than not. If you're living conditionally, yeah, and wanting to be saved, yeah. Most of us are just wishing and wanting to be saved. It just doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that, because when you shift your locus of control to you, when you turn that switch on, then you get to decide and choose how you feel and what you think all the time. There's so much freedom in that. If you're living conditionally, it really begins, this change I'm talking about really begins with a decision, just a clear decision, a conscious, intentional decision that what you want or need about the way you're approaching your life and your marriage and your kids needs to change. Something about that you want to change or you need to change, okay? So unconditional calm means that you're okay no matter what's going on. True calm is relaxation. It's ease in your body. It's ease in your attitude. It's flexibility. It's absolute confidence that whatever happens, you can handle it. You've got this. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if your kids are getting sick or if the car breaks down or if you lose your job. It really does not have to impact you. Because inside you have a knowing, a connection to trust and to knowing that like all is okay. There's a baseline of calm that you're operating from. The reason why you may not have it now is that, and this is a key piece that I'm teaching. I teach this in Awakened Motherhood, and that clients are learning that makes massive difference for them, which is, what's going on? Like, why can't I create that for myself? And I get a lot of women on the phone who have tried a lot of the things, some of them, almost all of the things, the essential oils, the naturopath, the meditation, the yoga, the 10 years of therapy, the parent coach, that they've done all the things, and they're really, really dedicated to their healing journey, and still something has not moved. They do not feel that sense of calm they're craving. And so their families are out of balance. Their health is out of balance. They may have an autoimmune disorder. All of that is connected and related. And the biggest reason I see that is going on, something stuck for people, is that their nervous system is operating at a level of survival, at survival. And it makes so much sense to me. And I won't give you like all of the theory and research behind it, but it does make perfect sense that this is what's happening, that in this day and age, that our nervous systems have not calibrated yet to what all is going on, and there's a lot going on, and we're working on old systems. We have so many imprints from our ancestors, from our parents, our grandparents, and we're trying to work with those, and we're inundated by how much is going on, and our bodies are trying to sort out what's the most important thing to pay attention to here. So we are almost many of the women that I run across, their nervous systems are firing so high. They're having chronic pain. They are feeling near collapse, really exhausted, waking up tired, not sleeping well through the night. Health is out of balance. There's so many. The list is so endless. But if this is you, then you already know what I'm talking about. It's all connected, and your nervous system, if it's operating at like sort of, we've all heard of fight or flight, fight, flight, freeze, collapse. There are more. These are trauma responses, and the primal brain is really in charge in those moments. And when our kids are fighting, or when our partner is mad at us, or when the house looks like a bomb went off, this is enough. This is enough to set you into that chain reaction of your frontal cortex going offline, and your primal brain rearing up, and you feeling completely out of control and overwhelmed. And at that point, there's no creative solutions coming in. There's no self-calming technique you can really force yourself to do at that point that works. It's just about staying with what's going on and riding that wave and telling yourself it's all going to be okay. What we want to do is not treat it from the outside, like this is how to deal when the panic attack happens. We want to really go to the root and really start working with your nervous system and teaching your body, your mind, to align with your heart and just align and settle down. So, as an example, when you learn to slow down and regulate your nervous system, you create a new baseline of calm, so that you kind of walk around with a new thought, a new feeling that becomes a belief once you practice it enough, that says, I'm really okay. I'm okay. I'm okay in this moment. I can handle what comes. Your kid may have a public tantrum, and instead of going into shame or wanting to escape or hide or rage back or humiliation, you shrug your shoulders. I can't tell you how many times I've carried my child when she was younger out of public places, getting kicked or punched in the face or poked in the eyes or whatever, and really, had that experience of like just dancing with my nervous system and really logging and taking inventory of what my primal brain was doing, and really staying with her and staying with me in those moments. And this is a new skill set we're developing as women and moms. This is something that is, it's not a given. It's something you have to work for. It's something you have to invest time and energy to, and you have to commit to, like, wanting to be there, wanting to be on the other side of what you're on. I want to really press that point, because it's nothing that comes naturally. And this is to say, like, stop berating yourself for not automatically knowing how to do it. I had to do separate work. I mean, I've been a psychotherapist for something, 14 or 15 years, and I had to do a lot of separate work, body work and energy work, to understand fully how all of this comes together to create this kind of calm that I'm talking about. So we want to learn to regulate our nervous systems, and we want to pull our mindset and our emotions together in with what our heart's desires are. And that really is the magic formula. That's so much of what Awakened Motherhood is really teaching you the how to align all of these things, so you get to choose how you feel in any situation. When things are fine, you're definitely consciously, intentionally choosing how you feel. And when things go lopsided, you can stay where you were before in that intentional calm. You don't have to follow anyone into their chaos. It has to do with your nervous system, and it has to do with maintaining your own energy. And there's a lot in that. But, and I've talked about it in other talks, but basically knowing what's yours and what's not yours. And then understanding how to develop that muscle so that you're not joining with anybody else in what they have going on. So if you're crashing and burning every time you try this on your own, you're trying to do it differently, but it's not clicking for you. This is why. It's because your nervous system is actually not calibrated to handle what's going on in your life, especially those of you who have like more than one or two kids. That's a lot of noise, it's a lot of activity, it's a lot of chaos, and you have some catching up to do. So I want to affirm and validate that you feel like this for a reason, and I also just want to invite you to pay attention to you, to tune in and say, what do I need? Like, just acknowledging that you need something new or something else is a really freeing thing for a lot of people. So stop expecting yourself to already know it. And my hope for you today is that in understanding, thanks Patrizia, thanks for joining, in understanding what is happening inside of you, this gives you a big leg up in being able to really know what to do differently. So just this insight is going to be a lot for you to really help you shift and start to think, oh, maybe, what can I do here in this moment and feel more resourced? What you want, if you want to be the anchor, if you want to not follow your kids into chaos or noise or yelling or whatever, if you want to provide that kind of stable, calm presence for yourself, for your health, for them, for their future and their happiness, to have a healthy household with a grounded relationship with your partner, you really have to start tuning into yourself and slowing down, because you hold all the answers. You may need some tools outside of you. You might need a teacher or a guide, but you are the expert on you, and you really do hold all the tools and all the answers inside of you that you're going to need to work with in order to get to the other side of this overwhelm that's going on. So a couple of places to start, and you may have already tried these, and I'll speak to that in a second. Really getting to know your breath. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? When does it speed up? When are you holding it? Start to notice. 2, try a guided meditation. Get on Insight Timer app and just find a 5-minute one and see what happens. Pay attention again. Feel you. Tune in. See what's getting stuck. And lastly, ask yourself throughout the day, how am I doing right now? This is like baby step 1 of forming a relationship between you and you. How am I doing right now? And I'm having someone say, I need a day at the beach. So maybe when you ask yourself, what do I need right now? You're going to hear that back. And then you'll try to follow that guidance. I'm all for following that guidance. If you've tried breathing, if you've tried meditation, if you've tried yoga practice, if you've tried Ayurveda, if you've tried a million things, and you know that there is a place you need help getting through, then that's when you should reach out to me. So if you do feel, what I'm saying resonates with you and you want some help, my advice always is, if you're stuck, you need to get support. Get it wherever you can. Get it wherever it's accessible to you. What I find to be true is that a lot of women call me after having tried therapy locally through their insurance company. And I must say, let me try to say this. What happens? Often, if you're working with somebody who doesn't know your problem inside and out, you spin wheels and you spend money and you spend time, and 6 months goes by at a natural flow. 6 months of individual coaching or therapy is a time when kind of you want to look back and assess and go, hey, is this working or not? And if you don't want to spend 6 months giving something a try and finding out if it's right for you or not, if you want a solution and tools to get you started right now, and you really want to find out like what it's going to be like for you on the other side, and if that's possible for you, then reach out to me, book a call. You can book a call, put the link below this workshop, and really, really, really want to hear what was helpful for you, what stuck for you. You know, I'm here doing these workshops for free, and the way that you can contribute to your own path and your own learning is to let me know what's helpful for you and what you want more of, because that will go into how I structure and offer these services going forward. So let me know what worked for you, what you didn't understand, what you want more of. I really do use those comments to shape and develop what's coming next. I'm listening. Sending you all so much love, lots and lots of love. Let me know what you thought today. Give a like if you listen, so I know that it was helpful for you. And sending you lots of love wherever you are in your journey.